Welcome back to everyone, respect and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. The big show today, because of course it is night 2 of Halloween Havoc. And yeah, we've got big matches. We've got Carmelo versus Ilya in a rematch. Dominic Mysterio is defending his title. We kick things off with a big match involving the Creed brothers and Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo in a tables, ladders and scares match. And lots more, but let's get straight into that match. And in a physical war of growing rivals, the Creed brothers made Garza and Carrillo pay, picking up a big win after a received Brutus bomb through 2 tables. This was a wild and fun opener, sold by 2 teams that gave their bodies up to the spectacle. When Julius and Brutus picked up the win, it was an even more important match for Angel and Humberto. They've been forgotten tag team in the shuffle, kind of, really, and have so much more to give. There are teams on the main roster that cannot deliver performances like this. Hopefully, while they may have the end of the Creed brothers with a gold brand, it can be a new beginning for the cousins, and it should be leading them really to top challenges for the NXT Championship, because yeah, I think this really showed what they can do. But yeah, on the whole, a fun match. Creed brothers possibly going out of NXT with victory, but I think, yeah, like I say, really putting over the opposition as well here. So I thought this was a really nice start to show and gets a 7 out of 10 from me. After Mackenzie Mitchell showed Tiffany Stretch in a video of Fallon Henry impersonating her again, the Centre of the Universe ran out to attack Henry. She wrapped her legs around the steel post in a figure 4 leg lock until officials intervened. It's a shame that Stratton v Henry has been delayed to a future date, but hopefully this will make the eventual match bigger. Henry needs a bigger spotlight in the women's division that needs to fresh talent up. Stratton will soon be called up, but she's a Braun Breaker spot at the moment. She's a big star for NXT and has a chance to build the future around others before she leaves. So yeah, I think good way of setting up a feud and then kind of just waiting for the main roster to call up. But I think Henley will benefit from this for sure. Before it's time for the North American title match, Dominic Mysterio taking on Nathan Fraser, and with some help from Ripley at ringside, Dominic survived the speed of Nathan Fraser, sending him off the top rope to the announce table. He then finished the match off with a frog splash. Wesley made a surprise return afterwards, laying out Dirty Dom. This was all Fraser, the good and the bad. It was mostly positive as he remains an exciting performer to watch every night, but he did run his way into some sloppier spots. Overall, it's fun to see him moving at a full speed, and Dirty Dom remains a heat magnet in the ring with anyone, but he survived another night as champion. It's good to see Lee back, though his return could have been more exciting. Bringing him all the way to the title he lost seems counterproductive, but he may be the best option to dethrone Mysterio. And yeah, we know that Wesley will have a brilliant match with everyone, and yeah, the North American title kind of does feel like his domain. So yeah, I'm not massive against it. It gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Before it's time for Braun Breaker versus Mr. Stone. Mr. Stone was barely able to stand next to Braun Breaker in the match, and the former NXT champion dispatched him easily with a spear. Breaker tried to hit Stone afterwards, but Von Wagner made a save. While still unsteady, he sent his rival running back to the back. When Stone was fully working as manager in WWE, he has 2 decades of in-ring experience, and this is obvious the way he bumped for Breaker. This still was never going to be a competitive match, so what mattered the most was the return of Wagner. The crowd looked into the big man, and not just looking for a table crash. He needs to beat Breaker the next time they clash. So yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 for me. I think, yeah, it was kind of all just building up for that. Von Wagner came back, but like I say, yeah, it was always going to be a kind of an entertaining comedy squash match, and that's exactly what it transpired to be. Before it was time for the women's tag titles on the line, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven defending against JC Jane and Tia Hale. Chase and Hudson stood in support of Hale, and when it mattered most, though, Chase stopped Jane from using the tag team championships as a weapon. This allowed Chasey Green to hit the unprettier for the win. The women's tag champions finally got a competitive title defense. Green and Niven showed off a duo in a way the WWE is not highlighted on the main roster. While the challenges looked close, it was clear neither had an answer for the power of Niven, who's building back up her reputation with each victory. Chase got in the way of Jane winning gold, which is certain to cause more strife for Chase U. So yeah, I like this. Good way to get the women's tag titles on there and continue the story of Chase U as well. And yeah, that's definitely developing. You can see that. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Before it was time for the final of the women's breakout tournament, Kalani Jordan taking on Lola Vice. Jordan survived the early physical attacks of Vice and showed off her impressive offense repertoire. Elektra Lopez knocked her off the top, and she prepared for the split leg moonsault, and Vice hit the roundhouse kick for the win. The match showcased Jordan's athleticism to definitely transition through Kimu, but it was Vice who won with very limited offense. The action itself was not as dynamic as one would expect for 2 rising stars in the women's division, but it did serve its purpose. But it's questionable if the right person won. Jordan has impressed constantly since arriving in NXT as part of the Iron Survivor Challenge. Vice has a lot left to prove before she becomes a breakout star. So yeah, I don't know, I'm going to give it time to see where it goes. You can see both still developing, but yeah, it was alright. 6 out of 10 from me. Moving on into our main event, Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes, and after a physical war for the title, Carmelo had Ilya set up for nothing but net, but Trick Williams arrived to distract his friend. The Mad Dragon sent Melo to the mat with a suplex and hit a torpedo Moscow for the win. Trick helped Melo to his feet before more could be said. The camera moved to the back where Baron Corbin had laid out Dragunov. No one is a better opponent for Hayes than the Mad Dragon. They elevate each other. This was a different fight with 2 of his 2 battles coming off extra heated due to unspoken hatred. With 2 PLA matches were longer and more involved, they did not take away from the impact of the latest classic between the 2 best performers in NXT. The Mad Dragon needs to retain. He should be champion for a while with plenty of interest interesting challenges in total. And yeah, Mello and Trick with some issues to resolve as well. So I like this. A brilliant match, setting up 2 intriguing stories about them. I thought it worked really nicely. 7 out of 10. And overall this week, NXT gets 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, on the whole, a really good episode of NXT this week. Obviously a bit of a special episode, but still, I really enjoyed it from start to finish pretty much. It was a brilliant match for the NXT title. Yeah, you had some fun matches, Trickle Street Fight, Dom involved as well. That was really good stuff. So yeah, on the whole, just an enjoyable show. But anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Subscribe. Next talk for daily wrestling news. Subscribe to the channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.